I've said this before, I think, but either way, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to try to be brief, but I promise nothing, because I know that as the conversation unfolds, I may end up taking a lot longer than I anticipated. But the only thing I really wanted to talk to you about is Thanksgiving, because we just completed Thanksgiving weekend. I usually try to meet with you over the weekend, but the thing is, when we have a longer period of time to go and be with family and do other things, our usual weekend routines tend to fall by the wayside, and then we find ourselves coming back from a long weekend trying to cram everything we would do in a 2-day weekend into a 1-day or into a few hours of what's left on a Sunday. So I didn't get a chance to do this, so I'm doing it on a Monday evening. I'm nocturnal by nature. I usually get up by 10:30. I'm crawling out of bed on my days off, but I do work on Mondays, so I've been up since really early and went to sleep really late last night because I wasn't very tired because I slept in. And so I'm tired doing this right now, but I did want to discuss this with you before the topic got really stale. There's really only one message that I want to share with you about Thanksgiving. Growing up, Thanksgiving was much like what Christmas to this day remains, and hopefully Christmas will continue being the way that it is through the rest of our lifetimes. But Christmas is a day where everything shuts down. Everything. Nothing is open at all, not even for a little while. Well, over the last few years, that's changed with Thanksgiving. I can understand hospitality if you're working in a bar or in a movie theater or in a hotel, not even really restaurants, depending on what you're serving. Very few people want to have chicken chow mein for Thanksgiving, or tacos. So I can understand even those restaurants not even bothering to open on Thanksgiving. But all those examples above, I can kind of understand why they stay open for the holiday. But for the life of me, I can't understand why a few years ago retailers started opening, and who even led this move towards opening on Thanksgiving Day. And I have a friend of mine who had to work like at 9 o'clock in the morning on Thanksgiving Day at an auto parts store. Auto parts. Who's going to go and buy motor oil in a filter on Thanksgiving morning? It doesn't make any sense. A lot of other retailers, what they're doing is they open late on Thanksgiving Day, giving their employees the opportunity to have some time with their family on Thanksgiving Day. But, it really makes it hard to go far at all. I mean, you have to stay in town because you got to go to work at 4, 5, 6 o'clock. It's customary to have Thanksgiving, the meal, around, it's called Thanksgiving dinner, but everybody starts having it around 1 o'clock. 3 o'clock is considered late. And I researched this a while back, and the whole idea behind that is to allow people to just eat all day long. Get together around lunchtime and just keep eating all day long. Now, for those of us that do that, who wants to go in to a store to sell oil changes and batteries, or even, places that make sense, like department stores where they sell, toys and clothes and jewelry and fragrances and things that people really would buy for the holiday season, which kicks off right after Thanksgiving. So what I'm saying is, please allow Thanksgiving to go by before you go out to the stores. Don't frequent these places. Shut them down on Thanksgiving. We have the power to do that. The only reason why they're staying open is because we're going. All right? Let's not do that anymore. I don't know why, we've supported that concept. And now it's, it's it's become customary to do that. I don't know how many years it's been going on. Not a lot, but we need to put a stop to it because we really need to continue getting together with our families or our loved ones, if that happens not to be our families. Opening these businesses is keeping us apart. And as it is, we're relying too much on the devices to talk to one another. We need to get together face to face and break bread together. And Thanksgiving isn't simply a time to just sit down with family and share a meal. It's also a good time to, it's a good time for self-reflection and just to think about what you are thankful for. All right, me personally, I went through a period of unemployment this year. For between May and August, I wasn't working. I was just rotting at home for several months. And I finally had to go back into a field that I was trying to get out of. I was trying to move into something else. Last year, I got my licensing done so that I can adjust insurance claims. We had hurricane season this year, and I didn't get called to work on any claims. I had applied for many, many jobs. None of that panned out. It is very disappointing. But I did go back to a firm that I had worked at several years ago, and it was a nice place to work, and it's even better now. So, in a way, it's been a good thing, that other direction, that other career path I was trying to take. Who knows? It might not have worked out. So, at least I'm out of the house. I'm being constructive. I'm bringing home money, and I'm investing it in my home to remodel, to do nice things. I feel really good about that. I feel good about the people in my life. I've been trying to meet some nice people. That hasn't happened. But the people that have been around and in my life over the years, we all get busy with our day-to-day responsibilities, and sometimes it's hard for us to keep in touch, and we believe people don't care. I'm certainly guilty of feeling that way sometimes, but I've noticed that, there has been some people that have reached out to me this year and remain in touch, and I'm grateful that they remain in my life. And hopefully, as we make it through the end of the year, I'll have time to reconnect with these people in person and spend some time with them, and hopefully you can do the same, and hopefully you also have some things that you can look back on. There's a lot of bad things, there's maybe not a lot, but I'm sure there's some bad things that have happened to us this year. A lot of us have had setbacks, but I think if we really give it some thought, we can come up with some things that we feel really good about, and I hope you're able to do that as well. All right, so all any of us can do, if we are working in retail and we have to work, if our job is at stake, we gotta go. But those of us who do not, if those of us avoid going, there won't be any reason to keep those stores. A few Thanksgivings where nobody's going to the stores, they'll stop opening because they realize they have to pay their people to be there, and they're not bringing any money to pay those people. And you know what? The people that are working on Thanksgiving, they really should be getting paid triple. At a minimum time and a half. All right, give these people something extra. They're taking time away from their families to be there. They need to be paid better. All right, and everybody else needs to stay home. And if you do go out to the stores, be nice to these people. All right, like I said, they're giving up being with their families so they could serve you. It's a crazy world that we're living in. But anyway, I'm glad that part is over. Now, Christmas begins. Like I said, the earliest really to get started on Christmas is once the Thanksgiving dinner dishes are done. That's when I put up my tree. But I'm still not going to go out and I'm just not going to go out shopping. There's still many shopping days before Christmas. That whole idea of starting to put up decorations in the stores and sell Christmas trees and decorations before Halloween is even over doesn't make any sense. All right, putting too much on us. Let's just finish. Let's just get through one holiday at a time before we move on to another one. Okay. All right. So appreciate your time today. I think I was able to keep it brief, and that's it. We're done.